Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to start building the inside of this knight. So to do that, I'm going to use the kit from the Canis Rex, which I really like about the Canis Rex, that you get all of this internals. Obviously, you can actually how do I put this? I think the regular knight kit, I don't know whether or not this comes with this part anymore. I know the Canis Rex was a specific named knight. But anyway, plan's quite simple. Gonna create all the internals. You can see that on my main knight, I'm not really doing like any of the fiddly bits yet, like the wires, the hand holders or anything like that. I want them to be a bit later on. But yeah, let's crack on with the internals. So you can only really do that if you've got this sprue for Canis Rex and Sir Hector. So let's have a look. Looking at this one here, which is, what's this? Number 8. I said I do like the fact that it's got a proper command throne in it. It's really nice. And then number 9, which is this part. Kind of been thinking about colour schemes as well now. I've been starting to go, what do I want this knight to look like? What colour scheme should I do on it? And I'm actually kind of torn at the moment. My son thinks I should do it as the Philippine flag, which is red, white, blue, and with like a yellow star. Now, I like the idea in a lot of ways. It would be a split scheme if I did that. So half the device would be blue, half of it would be red, and I can only really think that I would do the trims themselves. Do those trims white, and then I can use yellow to pick out certain parts of it. I think the only thing I have issue with that is it can be a bit normal, red, white and blue. It can be just a bit generic. But I suppose that's the thing. I mean, you do a unique colour scheme, and people like the look of it. They say it looks really good and all this. Wow, it's unique. But I suppose in a lot of ways, if I just did red and blue, it would be a challenge unto itself, to do something unique with something so, standard and normal. So I'm kind of warming to the idea. And I think if I can get the sun symbol just right as well, I feel like if I could paint the Philippine sun symbol just perfectly, then it'll look lovely. And then on top of that, there's some beautiful old pre-European, pure imperialist Spain's invasion writing. Okay, now is Sir Hector. I'm going to leave Sir Hector just for a moment. Let's have a look. Yeah, no, I can't leave him. I have to build him. I don't like that. I don't like putting a model in like that until it's time. Let me just have a quick check if I can get away with it for now. Yeah, I think I can. I'm going to try my best. I'm going to put 17 in. think this shouldn't be a problem to put this in without the knight himself going in. Let's have a quick look here, because this is like the control panel pops on the front here. Yeah, see, it's going to be hard to get in there if I actually put the knight in advance. If I do it like that. I'm 100% certain, looking at the actual knight, it should be able to fit regardless of whether or not I put him in before or afterwards. Now, I'll just start putting him together, so that's 10, 11. That way what I'll do is I'll dry fit him. Oh, make sure I get this right. 10 and 11 here. I spilled a bit of glue before and the smell's knocking me sick now. Okay, just pop this guy together now. Okay, and then 12, 14, which is his legs. There's two sets of legs on this, so just be careful. One is him out of his knight and the other one is in his knight. You don't want to get them confused. Too much of that. So he sits in there quite nicely, doesn't he? You can see. I'm just going to see, once he's built, about how the side pieces go in. So 14, 15, which are his arms. Then his head 16 over here. You know, every single time I think about the way that, you know, the stories about how knights are, kind of fills you with a kind of like, oh my goodness, what a horrible experience it is. Obviously, frequently they'll belong to these knightly houses. It all seems like really wonderful and all that, but you know what? They have to get physically plugged into the knights. There's no other way to put it. And then, of course, sometimes when they're severely injured following a battle, they'll go as far as to start like being put inside suspended animation tanks, not unlike a Space Marine Dreadnought is. And then they'll just basically spend the rest of their existence plugged in to the Titan. So I think the Knights probably have it easiest, but you can see he's got a big wad of cables at the back of his head. Okay. Yeah, I should be able to pop him in and out. Good. Okay. Now, sliding 19 and 18, so let me have a look. So I'll have a look at 18 here. Kind of a terminal on the one side of the device. Yeah, so it's kind of weird. I remember reading Mechanicum, I think it was the novel, as part of the Horus Heresy series, and I'm pretty certain that that's something that happens to one of them. Is it literally ends up permanently and forever stuck in like a kind of suspended animation tank. Makes him better at controlling his Titan, because he can do it by thought. But that's it, that's all his life is at that point. I'm sure it's a him on that one. Got 18. So these go that way around. Looks like it kind of pops on the top part here. This is where I'll find out whether or not he can slide on and off easily. Then grab hold of 19 over here. I suppose it's one of the strange things about human race is, if, you know, on a fundamental level, you think that they would not do anything so vile as plug themselves into a Titan. But I don't know, I think you've got to remember the human condition is a very strange one. People probably would if you told them they got to smash around in a massive war machine. They might actually do it. Okay, and this one pops on this side. Now let's see if he can slide in and out easily. Ooh, well, his head says no. No, so it does look like, unfortunately, when this guy is in, he's in. And he's not easy to get out again. Which is a shame, because I don't like painting things like this. Let's see. I might be able to squeeze him back in. But it looks like one problem is we're going to have with his head. His head is going to argue with us as it goes in and out. what I'll do, I'll just loose fit it to there for now. And then I'll be able to hopefully slide him, pop him in, pop him out easily later on. Now, here's the thing. In order to finish this off, it has to be attached to the top armour. Like this. So this eventually will come under here. Like that. Now, as you can see, if I glue that on to begin with, I'm never getting that out again. I'm definitely not sliding him in and out, and I don't want to paint it like that. So that is basically where we end this little video. I've done the main part of the carriage. I've got him ready, but obviously they all need painting together. So we are finished with that little stage. Just a nice 20-minute video, and we'll go from there. Okay, now I'm going to do the top part of the hull. So the idea behind this is I'm going to put on the main plate over the top, but also attach the support props from the Canis Rex sprue, so that later on when it's all painted up, I can basically attach the Sir Hector underneath. So let's start off by popping this apart. I have decided to build this, upon my son's advice, as a Canis Rex. I wasn't actually going to do that all the way, but he convinced me that that's what we want to be doing. He's also decided that my night colour scheme is going to be the Philippine flag. I'm really hoping that I can make that work. I have to admit, I don't normally like red, white and blue as a colour scheme. It is so standard, and that in itself is a challenge for me to do it well, you know. So in a lot of ways, I'm glad that I'm kind of being pushed into doing a colour scheme that I don't really like to do. I don't really like the idea of doing, because then I've got nowhere to hide really. I have to be good. Now really this knight is for Horus Heresy, so it's going to be on the side of the loyalists, which means it'll be backing up my Imperial Guard, Imperial Fists. So that's actually going to create quite an interesting contrast, isn't it? You're going to have that very bright, vibrant yellow of the fists, backed up and supported by a red, white and blue knight. So, you know, good range of colours on display, if nothing else. Now, what I might do is I might give myself a few liberties. I might go for a lighter blue. I might go for a darker red. But there are some things that I want to incorporate into it. So, for example, I'm going to go for, probably try and create the star of the Philippine flag, because I think that's a nice little symbol to have on a knight anyway. I think it works. And as I said, I think I'll try and incorporate some pre-colonial Philippine writing. Now, obviously, I don't know how to write in. Well, I know the symbols. I can find the symbols for the letters of pre-colonial Philippines. But obviously, what I don't know is that language in any way. even my wife, who's from the Philippines, you know, is not going, even if I showed her that lettering system, I severely doubt that she's going to be able to tell me how to write a particular word or anything like that. But what I will do is I might find some Tagalog word or Kapampangan word and then write it, which I hope will create a good feeling. I've actually done that once before on a test Imperial Fist model. Not Imperial Fist, it wasn't Imperial Fist, it was just a Primaris Space Marine. Right, I'm waffling again. Okay, so what we got is we got this kind of little full plate. Now, this will eventually sit on here. So eventually it'll slide onto here, but I'm not going to do that because obviously it makes things hard to paint. But what I will do is I will start preparing to put other parts on. So from here, from this Canis Rex sprue, I need 21 and 22. Got to be careful with this, it definitely feels very brittle, to say the least. Go out playing it safe. I'm worried that this thing's just going to snap as soon as I try and put a bit of pressure on it. Okay. Now, this obviously is going to attach together here, but then it looks, it's going to have to, this could be a bit of a problem. It looks like it kind of threads through into the under chassis that needs putting on it. Mold line underneath this that I need to get rid of. Okay, let me just do a check here. Let me get this command thrown from before. So it looks like this is going to attach into this, which was unfortunately sending up little alarm bells for me because I really don't want to be attaching this permanently here. Let's see. See, it goes like this, right? Let me just trying to get a feel for it more than anything. So this is going to go there eventually. This will plop on there, which is then going to pop the hood up. So what do you want to do if you don't want the hood permanently up? Feels like you actually have to have it one way or the other. I was really hoping that it would be like a kind of propping mechanism, if you get my meaning, that you could have it open or close, but it doesn't look like that's truly an option, which is a shame. Oh, his head's fell off. Not good. Leave that head off for now. Right, let me glue this together. This is going to be disappointing if this isn't how I expected it to be. If you see like a prop like this, you would expect it to kind of be something you could open up. Right, let's have a quick look. Let's see if this does anything close to what I suspected it was going to do. It's going to be disappointing if I can't put that guy in. Alternatively, I just leave the little point loose on. Yeah, look, so it rather obviously kind of pops on up and down. It doesn't do what I hoped it would do, which was at like a bit of a hinge. That's a disappointment, that, because I like the thought of seeing this guy every now and then, but not all the time. However, I shall persevere, because what I might be able to do is just basically leave this loosely on. Let's get a crop. Let's get this off anyway. So this is 1/16. Can see here, so if I were to pop that there, there's just no possible way that this thing could, you know, in any way pop back down and hide. It's just not possible. So it really is an up or down option. But that won't stop me, because I am 100% certain I am going to find a way to have this kind of pop up if I want it to. So I've got a little challenge for myself now, haven't I? How am I going to make that open and close? Okay, what I might do to begin with is obviously accept that I can't just have that. What I will do though is I shall look at magnets, see if magnets might be a solution. I'm frequently disappointed if magnets aren't a solution to most problems, because that's the way I like to do things. Have I got a little magnet? Let's have a look at some little magnets. So what I'm doing here is I'm just seeing how big this point is. Oh, if this here is the right size, which it does appear to be. So it does look like I could potentially squeeze a magnet into there. Oh, I am tempted. I am very tempted. Nah, unfortunately, never mind. I'll give up. I'll admit defeat, unfortunately. What I might do though is I'm not going to glue that on, because I do want to be able to see that now and then. I do want to actually be able to do that. Okay. Right, so unfortunately not the result that I wanted for this video. I've got my hull plate ready, but no immediate solution about how I'm going to have that open up so I can see it. But what we can do is obviously we would get that painted up, and when it's painted up it goes on top of here, which is, you know, nice and simple. For now though, I'm going to have to unfortunately end that video in a bit of a disappointing stage, and just come back to it really.